So let us see the need for a new network. So it needs to constantly learn and constantly adapt and constantly protect. So it has to learn so that it can support hundreds of new devices and apps and users. It has to adapt to the respond instantly to business demands where we have limited staff and budget. Also, it has to protect, see and predict the issues and threats, and it has to respond fast. So the network has to have these three elements of constantly learning, constantly adapting, and constantly protecting. So that's the new terminology, or the new way the network is called is the network intuitive. So it's based on this Cisco DNA, digital network architecture. Basically, it is powered by intent. For example, in your IT environment, someone comes and say, I want the application to be deployed across all our branch offices. And this application has to have this much latency. This is the bandwidth requirement. This is the response time. How many users will access at the same time this application? So someone comes and gives a business intent to the network operator. And with network intuitive, the intent will be changed as a policy. And then it will be applied using the automated way. So it will be completely done, completely provisioned across the millions of devices instantly. So imagine the situation when your office, your boss comes and says, okay, we need to have these changes in our network. So what do you do normally? You go and start having a whiteboard session, see which VLAN we need to add into the particular branch office and what VLAN the server is connected to, and how I can make sure this VLAN, both VLAN can communicate with each other. It's based on, is it crossing any firewall? So they have to open a firewall port, so that you need to approach the security team. Then he will come and ask you, fill up the form. So the entire process, by the time you deploy a new application, it's going to take a week, sometime even a month. But if it is the case, how can you deliver the application demand? So if you have a complete automated way, when someone come and say this is requirement, then you create this as a policy and push this policy using a GUI, using a user interface, and everything is all your intent, all your policies are automatically getting translated as commands, QAS, security policies, bandwidth reservation. Everything is done automatically. You don't worry about routing protocol. You don't worry about configuring a VLAN. Everything is done, through the GUI. Powered by intent. This is the main thing. Then second thing is driven by inducence. What do you mean by inducence? It's not just it's going to apply what you are configuring in the policy. Rather, it's going to take feedback. It's going to take information through machine learning. So machine learning at scale to provide increasing intelligence. And also it gives predictive performance and assurance. Yes, I want to have this intention. I want to apply this. I want to deploy this application. But when I configured, when I start provisioning, I want to make sure, yes, this is what has been applied in my head office, in my branch office. If the user is feeling the same experience, what I intended, how do you make sure it is happening? How do you make sure that the performance has been met? So we use machine learning. So the machine learning gives feedback to the GUI. It makes sure that, yes, what has been applied is what is happening. Then the third aspect of intuitive network is informed by context. So we need to have a visibility. Now today, everyone wants to know, in your network, or if it is an application, they want to know how the application works, how many users have accessed, what is the performance, how much bandwidth this application has used in the network, if there is any bottleneck, if there is any delay. So they want to know, they want to have visibility into the traffic. Not only the visibility in terms of traffic type, patterns, bandwidth, but they also want to know the threat patterns. Today is about, we are talking about zero-day attack. What do you mean by zero-day attack? Your antivirus, your IDS, your software, which is sitting on your server or your firewall, cannot detect those attacks which have started maybe 1 minute back, because there is no signature that will match the pattern. So threats are evolving in security. Every day you find new attacks. Not only that, previously you had attacks which you can detect, but now everything is happening even in a more secure fashion. The attacks are happening with secured connection. So you need to have the ability to decrypt, and then encrypt and understand what's happening inside. So visibility into the traffic is becoming more and more important. Who, what, when, where, and how. So we need to know that context. So when you are going to take any action, you will take based on the context. So the network intuitive is something which is going to do all these things. It's powered by intent, it's driven by intuition, it's informed by context. That all these three elements are built on Cisco DNA, Digital and Network Architecture.